Hi, we're here to raise awareness about the vicious littering cycle of military waste. The conclusion is that the way they're throwing away living materials like cloth is very inefficient and not eco-friendly. Like the word I said before, vicious. They do this because they don't pay for the cost of their action. The major problem is that public institutes with funds to throw away the trash repeats the same thing. They, the public institutes, are being spoiled. Why is this happening and how can we fix it? We as a team, Junmin Lee, Sarang Kim, Changhan Lee, put our heads together to analyze this problem, starting from the cause of this cycle to the solution that we can test according to Living Lab approach. Our main question was, how can we reduce military waste? We will start from the beginning, figuring out the problem is, and we will try to narrow down the cause of the problem. Approaching the problem to Living Lab, we thought of experiment overview. Based on it, we planned a 100-day experiment plan, and last but not least, the experiments implements. Figuring out what the problem is. First, military waste and disposal methods. Second, military uniforms disposal status. Military waste and disposal methods are the main cause of the problem. The living waste, like cloths, gets sent to the subordinate unit and then gets moved to supply depot within the military division until it gets incineration or sold within the community branch. Military uniform disposal status is approximately 6,920 because there is 3,460 conscripts are recruited from Wonju area unit alone. In the military, soldiers are initially issued three sets of uniform, but upon discharge, they only take one with them, and that remaining two are disposed of. We thought about the lack of recycling incentives and the absence of ESG in public institutes is the cause of the problem. Public institutes like the military may not feel the need to recycle as they dispose of the living materials within the allocated budget. Because this budget is provided by the government, which is citizens' money, they don't have to pay for their action of littering. This is what we meant by a lack of incentives for littering. To enforce the ESG environmental social governance practice in public institutes, the government must grasp the direction of ESG management and understand the ESG practices of leading nations and implementing them into Korean context proactively. Then, how can we reduce military waste? To begin with, we will sort out the uniforms that can be reused in the training camps and training centers to send them there. After that, we will try to take two actions to recycle the waste. Action 1 is to reduce a massive amount. Action 1 is to produce a massive amount of recycled fabrics. With the recycled fabrics, we will return the first half of the clothes to military so they don't have to use any clothes for anything. Then we'll make core gears that could be inserted in the shared bicycle handles for the riders. Also, we are hoping to prevent the elderly from diseases caused by cold by providing them with cold weather gears. Action 2 will be dressing the trees with the cloth shelters instead of straws. A good example is this shown right here in the PPT. Experimental overview. The effect of recycling military waste are these: the number of military uniforms being discarded will decrease. The number of military uniforms deposed is unsure at first but will decrease afterwards. The production volume of recycled fabrics will increase, and winter-related sickness will decrease. Winter season bike-sharing usage rate will increase with the cold weather gears, and in terms of the national budget allocated for winterization observations or op- will remain the same in the human rights cost part. However, the material cost will decrease. So, how we plan the experiment plan for 100 days. We have divided into four parts. First 10 days, identifying and gathering the recyclable military uniforms. Next 30 days, the practical process of manufacturing products from them. Manufacturing insulation materials for winterizing trees. First, we will identify which parks, orchards, and forests where insulation materials will be distributed, and surveying to determine the amount of distribution materials needed at each location. Then, mass production of recycled fabrics. First round will make bags, slippers, curtains, and sacks. And second round will produce cold weather items such as insulative gloves. Next 30 days will be nationwide distribution and implementation period, dressing the trees and distributing cold weather gears to people who need them. The last 30 days will be the period for observing sustainability. We will assess the effectiveness of cold shelters and assess the effectiveness of cold weather gears. The implicants of the experiment will be undertaking a project targeting the Institute of Military holds a great sufficiency. Moreover, not only supplying the military with recycled fabrics will, by transforming discarded military uniforms, but also recycling them to make and create various products will contribute significantly to addressing the challenges issuing of depositing of military uniforms within the institutions. This was our Living Lab project. Thank you for listening.